The goal of the JSL Chumash teaching curriculum is to enable our students and participants with access to and ownership of the Torah, the text. I always tell them, this book belongs to you as much as it does to me. And I would like you to have ownership of it, ownership of your own people's book. You need to understand what's in it and understand how to use it. So at the beginning here at the top of this page, we have some introductory materials which you may find useful for giving them an overview of what Torah study is and how to do it. The second section, I will give some tips and tricks on how to approach the actual study. And then below that, God willing, we'll go through parsha by parsha, each specific topic. So at the top here, we have a couple charts. The Torah tree is a way of seeing how the various texts that we call Torah all interrelate to each other. We have the written Torah, the Chumash, and the rest of Tanakh as the roots and the trunk, and then we have the fruit of the tree being the application of Torah to life, to practical wisdom, to philosophical wisdom. And the neat thing about the trees, it shows how not only how all the parts connect, but how you can enter at any point and connect to the rest of the Torah. And the sap that in the metaphor that fuels the fruit is what we call drush, the system of drush, of connecting written and oral traditions together. The second chart, the Torah chart, is much simpler. It's simply a layout of some of the most basic areas of text that we call Torah, the Mishnah, Midrash, and Kabbalah, the Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, and many people, this is actually one of the most important introductory charts to give them, because they've heard these words before, Talmud, Nach, Tanakh, Torah, and are confused. What are the terms? Just to give this to them and let them refer to it again and again until they get familiar with the terms. The goal of the Torah is a third chart created by Rabbi Yitz Wiener, who took this from Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch's understanding of a presentation of all the aspects of Judaism as having a teleological purpose of refining the person, refining the human being. And this could be used as a teaching tool as well, to teach each part of this chart and use it thematically as opposed to going through sequentially through a text. The 48 Ways to Wisdom, of course, is from Pirkei Avot, chapter 6. And these are the 48 things that, according to Pirkei Avot, one must do to fully acquire Torah, to fully acquire wisdom: constant study, attentiveness, choosing a teacher, and so on. It's also useful supplemental material for some students. The Masorah chart's very powerful and very empowering, especially if you put your own name on there as a teacher, if you modify it as needed, or and add your students' names or invite them to add their names. They really see and feel, hey, I'm part of a tradition. This is not just in a vacuum here in this year, in this time, in this place, but I'm part of a tradition that goes back thousands of years, and it makes it very personal. The learning pledge form I've used almost like you would see at a fundraising dinner where there's a pledge card, and I've actually printed this up as cards, which is also recommended if you have the wherewithal to do that. They look like this, two-sided, and have some inspiring event where people think, wow, maybe I could study too. And I ask them, so what would you like to study? What topics, and what's your commitment? You want to do it once a week, once a month? It can be very help enable people to overcome that initial hurdle of making this something regular in their life. On the right side, its other links, these are blanks that I found very useful for helping students and participants review, do chazarah of what they've learned. Because as we know, going through it one time, it doesn't stick as well as if you go through it a second time. And when they finish, either finish a parsha or finish a book, to encourage them and give them some incentive to go back and fill in the chart. What were the main events of that parsha? Who are the main characters? And their retention will be significantly greater if they use this chart. So let's move down now below to the next links, which I will go through some basic tips and tricks of how to present Torah from scratch.